I'm going to walk through the steps to create an address locator for the South Dakota one call road centerline data. You start off by using your geoprocessing tab. The way to get there is under Analysis, Tools. This is where your geoprocessor is. So if your geoprocessing isn't open, this is how you get there. Once this is open, I have mine set to my favorites, but if you're looking for it, you just type in Create Locator, and here it is. Another one that is very handy is the Rebuild Address Locator once you've got it created, and you get the same way. You can just do a search for it, and then once you have that, you can add this to my favorites, and that will show up. This one's very important if you're trying to rebuild, because every time you make a change to your road center lines, you need to rebuild your address locator if you're going to locate addresses correctly in the correct locations. So we'll get started. Here's a Create Locator. I'm going to pull this out and make it bigger. So once we start with our Create Locator, our primary table is going to be the road centerline data set that we are working with. In this case, it's going to be union working. The role that we want to specify is a street address. When we do that, we have to start mapping some fields. And these are the most important ones, are the ones that are starred. But we have a few additional ones that we'll add as well. So your left house number will be from left. The 2 will be to left. Right from is from right. Right to is to right. We don't have to worry about stuff like parity, but we do want to put in our prefix direction, which is pre-dir. Prefix type is pre-type. Street name is st name. Our suffix type, that is our street type. Suffix direction, for us it's called suffdir. We also have full street name in there. In our data set, it is called street. The next fields that need to be mapped are left city and right city. These are pretty handy. So we can go community left, and right city is community right. Now you can also scroll down and put the zip codes into right here. And for this, I think we will. Let's go to zip left, and we'll specify zip right too, being we have it in here. Sweet. And that is pretty much it. Let's scroll up to the top and just have one more look at it. Just remember, we need to do left from left to, right from right to. These are right here. From left to left, from right to right. And then this grouping, prefix direction, pre-type, street name, suffix type, and suffix direction, and full street name. All these are filled out. Pre-dir, pre-type, street name, street type, suffix direction, and street. All those will be filled in. Scroll down a little farther. We'll do left city with community left, right city with community right. A little farther down, we'll go left zip, zip left, right zip, zip right. Once we have those in, our data set is pretty much done. There's one more option that we can do. We can also add our alternate names as well. So we can get matches using our alternate names. But in order to do that, we need to put our join ID in. So we will specify our join ID as well, which is called join ID. See this red dot here where language code? Specify that as English. That'll get rid of that. Under optional parameters, this is where we can put in an alternate name table. And we have one of those. Ours is called Union Alt Names. And the role of this is going to be a alternate street name right here. And when you specify the alternate names table, you need to map up the fields as well. So the street join ID is join ID. Prefix direction is predir. Pretype is pretype. Street name is street name. Suffix type is street type. Suffix direction is suffix direction. Underbar DR. This one's pretty straightforward. There they all are. If we have full street name in there, we'd add a full name as well. Once you have those done, the next thing you need to do is specify where you want to put this creator. In this case, I'm going to put mine in my own hard drive. So I'm going to put mine in South Dakota 1 call. And I have a locator files. I got a lot of different locator files in here already. So we're just going to add this one, and I will give it a name. It's going to be called Union Locator. Just like this. Hit save. This will show up right there, and we run. And once the locator is built, this is completed with warnings. There's a few warnings in here. Let's open up our locators, and we can see this is where our newly created locator will show up. It has to be in the project. So if you have to build one, it will show up under your locators tab in your catalog pane. But if you want to add a new one, if you have one already, you can just right click add locator and just navigate to it. One more thing that I like to do once I have it built is I like to go to locator properties. And this is going to give us our property box. I like to specify geocoding options. Match out of range, I say yes. Minimum match score, I like to change that to 50. Same with candidate, I'll do 50 as well. Side offset, let's go 50 as well for 50 feet. End offset, I go 50 feet as well. Match with no zones, I say yes. I do want to match with no zones. This way, if all you have is the address, it will match somewhere. Once you do that, you hit OK. And now what I will do is I will show you how we are using it. So we'll pull this off to the side, and we'll scroll into Union County. And now we can take a look at how accurate some of these addresses are. And we do that under the Map tab. Using Locate, click the down arrow and use the Address Inspector. This gives us this little box that tells us which address locator we're using. And now we can just click on the area, and we can see what the address is going to be. And if I click on this, I can see that the address is supposed to be 47337, 319th Street. That's pretty close. If we navigate just a little to the west a bit, you can see that that's where 47335 is. And that's pretty close. That's a pretty good address. And this is how we can adjust ranges based on what we're seeing for address locations. This address is 47307. Let's take a look at where the driveway is pretty much. But you can see that they got it as 09. So 07 is right there. That's pretty close. That's how you create and use an address locator. I hope you found this very stimulating. I know I did.